Apex Sapien, the greatest to ever do. Ask your mama, ask your daddy, because Caitlin Clark knows I'm out here. I'm the biggest fan. Listen, let me tell you guys something. Everybody thinks they understand Caitlin Clark's game, but I understand Caitlin Clark's game the best. You know why? You want to know why? I played basketball at 24 Hour Fitness. I've been a lifelong hooper. And I had to retire from hooping. You want to know why I had to retire from hooping? Because the young boys have killed basketball and pickup basketball. See, I'm going to talk to my real hoopers out there. See, there's basketball players, then there's hoopers. And you got to understand the difference between the two. See, basketball players are the guys that want to be like, they're like the Jared McCains of the world. They want to be known for playing basketball. That's LeBron James. That's Kate. KD's actually a hooper. LeBron James is the basketball player. I'll go into that deeper though. As a hooper, as somebody who fucking loves the hoop, and when I say hoop, I mean just game. They just love playing the game, playing within a team, and succeeding. And that's Caitlin Clark's genetic makeup. See, a lot of people they can't comprehend this because they don't go outside. They don't play games. They don't do shit. I'm here to tell you guys because I played the ball. I hoop. And I had to retire from hooping. I was sad. I had to retire from hooping because I realized Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, like a lot of these guys have killed basketball. Russell Westbrook, they killed basketball. James Harden killed basketball. KD, they killed basketball. Devin Booker killed basketball. You know why they killed basketball? Because they don't play team basketball. They don't play team basketball. Let's get into it. Because once again, I'm the only person who could talk about it because I'm the only person who knows about it. I'm the only person willing to talk about it. Man, you got to ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask Caitlin Clark's dad, ask her mama, ask everybody on the internet and Fever. They're going to tell you Apex Sapien knows what he's talking about. So let's get into it. I'm just going to talk about it. Caitlin Clark is dusting these girls up because she understands the fundamental principle of playing pickup basketball. And some of you guys might ask, how? Well, if you go back to my Caitlin Clark championship video, I explained Caitlin Clark grew up in Iowa. I think she grew up in Iowa. I don't know, but I know she grew up in some farmland country. So I'm assuming she grew up in Iowa because she went to college in Iowa. So I assume she stayed close to home because she seems like a very country gal, home gal, and family-oriented person because she has good morals and character and because she's not bitching about fouls and stuff. And the way that she plays, it seems like it's somebody who's playing within a team. And usually, the only way you can play within a team is if you have a family structure. If you don't have a family structure, you're going to play hero ball because you want to be known as the guy. And this is the tragic aspect of the black hooper. Because the black hooper typically doesn't grow up in a family structure. They grow up in like a very fucked up, poverty-stricken structure. And because of that, they develop certain mental and psychological quirks and qualities that don't actually lend towards team-oriented basketball. Now, a little bit about my background. I grew up in, but I went to college in Utah. And when I was in Utah, I got to observe something that was very interesting. I got to observe the Mormon community. Now, say what you want to say about the funny underwear and the planet that they got and all the other crazy shit that you hear about the Mormons and the soaking. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, a little dirty, dark secret that nobody knows about the Mormon community. The Mormon community. These motherfuckers can hoop. Listen, these Mormons can play some basketball, nigga. I'm not playing with you, bro. They know how to play good, old-fashioned team basketball. These niggas like the Boston Celtics of the fucking 60s and 70s. Because what happens with the Mormon community is they have a gang of fucking kids, man. Listen, if you ever been around the Mormon community, like the real Mormons, these dudes be having like 6, 7 kids, like a whole leader. They don't stop. And what happens is they're very, very deep in the church. And on Wednesday nights and Friday nights, they got basketball night. See, y'all don't know about this. See, I'm giving you that next level deep reality shit because most of you guys don't leave the house. You guys don't go outside. You don't drink water. You don't work out. I leave the house. I have lived a life. And let me tell you something about these Mormons. They show up to church thick. Like they bring the whole family. Nigga, it's like 6, 7 kids. And there's like 5 or 6, 7 families that all play basketball, and they bring everybody, and there's like 40 people in the gym. And they hoop, bro. They go from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., get their work in, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, do it again 2 days later on Friday. And then they got church on Sunday. And what you come to find out is these Mormons are not very athletic. They're not super athletic. They're just not athletic people. But what they do very well is the fundamentals. They pass, they shoot, they play defense, they give effort, they communicate, and they make the game easier for everybody that's playing with them. And it's a good time. They don't do like nigga shit. Like if you go to a black court, or I shouldn't say a black court. I take that back. Take that back. If you go to a urban court, what you discover is it's horrible. It really is horrible to play. Like it's a horrible environment and it's a horrible experience if you're not known at that place. They don't pass you the ball. They want you to play defense and get rebounds. They want you to kick it out to a guy that clearly doesn't care about life because all he does is hoop all day. There's a lot of weed smoking. There's not a lot of communication. People are playing with iPhones. They're playing with earbuds. Like you'll be surprised. Like one of the reasons I stopped playing basketball is because there's guys that play with earbuds. There's guys that have earbuds in the whole time they're playing, and they're in their own world. And I'm looking like, wait, bro, how can I play basketball with you if you don't even have the ability to hear? Like you are listening to drill music, and you can't hear me say, "Hey, look, that guy's hitting the back corner. Hey, dude, switch. That screen's coming." So you got like 4 or 5 dudes that are playing with earphones on. Everybody's in their own world. And they're essentially 4 guys playing hero ball. So essentially, there is no function of a team when you're playing on urban courts. No function. Caitlin Clark grew up in Iowa. And Iowa is very similar to the Mormons. They don't have a lot of athletic people. like she seems to come from a pretty good home. So she's probably middle class, upper middle class. And typically, those people don't really put a great emphasis on sports. Like sports is more of a thing, like an extracurricular, just to have fun. But you do your studies, you make sure your grades are good, you do community activity, and you play sports as like a reward and as a fundamental like team building or community building aspect to have an outlet. In the black community, it's pretty opposite. In the black community, or I take that back. In the urban community, sports is looked at as the way to get out. It is the priority. Fuck school, fuck community activities. You hoop and you hoop and you hoop some more so you can get the bleep out the hood or out the urban environment so you can go have a successful life as a hooper. And that's the circumstances for most ethnic hoopers. But in the white community, and this is why the white community doesn't really produce a lot of stars in basketball for the most part, they're team oriented. Like it's not taken that seriously. So everything's a lot lax, and the more the goal is focused on winning. It's not focused on your own individual skill set because there's more people that come out, and when these people that play most of the time, they play together, not a lot of ego involved. It's like we want to stay on the court, we want to win because there's a bunch of other people, or even if there's not a bunch of other people. One of the things you start to learn about the urban community, there's a lot of like in urban pickup basketball, there's a lot of shady shit that goes on where guys are coming onto the team. They have 3 guys. They won't pick up the extra 2 guys. They'll wait till 2 guys lose on the court, the 2 best guys, and they'll bring them on the team. So you have the 2 best guys or 4 best guys cycle through the entire like 3 hours of pickup ball that goes through. It's a whole cheat code that these guys do. And because most people don't say anything, because most people don't want to get injured, because people will get emotionally charged and there'll be fights and then there's all other type of stuff, and people will sit there and boycott the court where you can't do anything. There's not team-oriented basketball is not really created. But in the higher middle class area, there's not a lot of people. So like you have 10 or 11, 12 guys, so they want to rotate. So you get used to playing with everybody, and it's more fun because people are passing the ball, we're shooting, we're just playing to enjoy the game, try to win, and get some cardio in. So Caitlin Clark grew up in that environment of learning just how to play with people. Like you could put her with any team. Like I'm pretty sure if you put Caitlin Clark on any WNBA team, it's going to be the same result. It's going to be the same result. You can't say the same about most of these girls on most of these teams because they don't have the ability to mix and match with various teams because their skill set is so one-dimensional within the game. Like the same thing like James Harden. Like you watch James Harden play, he is the epitome of not giving a fuck and pure teams. I mean, pure individual stats. Yeah, he's a great scorer, but he does not try on defense. The entire game revolves around him playing one-on-one on a guy, breaking him, getting to the basket, kicking out. He doesn't move the ball around. And what happens is, like, when he gets later on in the season, he gasses out because there's only so much, like, game you have to play by yourself. Eventually, fatigue sets in, laziness, and so forth, and you have to use your teammates. That's what people don't understand in basketball. The ball moves faster than the human. So if the ball moves faster than the human, it makes more sense to move the ball around as opposed to move as the human. If you move the ball around more, you have to move less as a human being, and you get better shots, and you get more momentum. You get the game flowing, and you can kind of like just have a whirlwind, and you end up like the Fever, where like she's just like, okay, dribble, bring the double team because these girls are so dumb. They keep double teaming me. Okay, please keep double teaming me. Please bring it, because if you don't double team me, I'm gonna break this girl off, get an open three or get an easy layup. So they bring the double team, kick out, somebody open, game. And just repeat the cycle. And then defense is all effort. And here's the other thing people don't understand about basketball is that when other people are getting the ball, when the ball is moving around, when there's energy, when everybody's touching, you're more likely to play on defense. See, one of the psychological effects that demoralizes teams is when there's one guy that only takes all the shots. He ball hogs, he driggles, he plays hero ball. And then on defense, you're like, man, what the fuck? So I'm just playing defense for this guy just to fucking play with the ball the whole time so I can sit there and wait. And then he's going to throw me basically a grenade, which is like they throw the ball to you when you have less than 3 seconds to score. And so I got to check up a bad shot and then run back on defense. That's why people hated playing with Kobe Bryant. That's why Kobe Bryant was so like booty until Paul Gasol came in, because Paul Gasol was a very skilled big man, but he was a beta-minded big man. He was willing to default to Kobe because he was scared of Kobe. Because Kobe, if y'all know if you guys remember, Kobe fucking ran into this dude's chest. He said, look, the first play of the game against Spain, I'm running through his chest on the screen. And he just ran through Paul Gasol. I was like, damn, why would you do that? Like, I'm a running back. I played running back in college and high school. I'm not gonna run through somebody's chest that I used to play with. That's not like what do I do that for? That doesn't make no sense. But anyway, besides the point, Caitlin Clark just understands how to play fundamental basketball, fundamental pickup basketball. Like you can find her game on any local pickup ball court. Any local pickup basketball game where a guy who's actually like smart and likes to pass, like you'll find that game. Like her game is not very sophisticated. And I'm not saying that like as a downgrade or anything like that. No, it's really a testament to how far behind the WNBA is, like just on the fundamental skills of basketball. And they're so far behind on the fundamental skills of basketball, like that, like Caitlin Clark's game essentially can just dominate. And it also brings into another question, which I'm willing to state. I believe NCAA basketball is better than the WNBA. I firmly believe that if you took the national champion of the NCAA for the women's title, I'm pretty sure they can beat the world champions in the WNBA. I'm almost 100% positive. I'm willing to bet the house on that one, because there's something to be said about playing with teammates for prolonged periods of time, having a same coach for prolonged periods of time, and playing somebody who's kind of like a disjointed unit. And because, like, the talent level, like, because what we're seeing with Caitlin Clark is, like, she's athletic. Don't get me wrong, she's athletic, but she's not, like, blazing fast. She just plays good fundamental basketball. She's in control of her body. She makes good reads. She is selfless on the game. She shoots when she's open. I think that Iowa team could probably beat the Aces of this year. Or I think that Iowa basketball team, or whatever the team, I don't know who won it. Because, once again, I have never watched a WNBA game or a women's college basketball game until this year, maybe about a week ago. That was the first time me watching Caitlin Clark. I got to admit to you guys, I've been watching. You guys are watching somebody who has not been watching games, and I'm giving you dead-on analysis, and you guys are loving it. But besides the point, Caitlin Clark's the GOAT. And she's the GOAT because she played pickup basketball with young kids, with young boys, as a young girl. And that's really the secret to her talent. And she has a dad too. Listen, having a dad, having a good strong father figure is a very, very important aspect of a woman's life. It changes everything. Appreciate y'all for listening.